stuck. My headphones are trying to attack me. All right. Hi. Okay. Let's see. Hello, hello. I am well, thank you. Thank you. I am well. I hope you are well also. I'm tired. I'm relatively well. It's here's too long. So this has been a long week. I know it's Monday. It's been a long weekend. It's very rainy. It's not cold here, but it's been rainy all day. It's been rainy all night. It's one of those days you just want to stay in your comfy sweater and just, snuggle in. We are still dealing with our Dixie dog, which is a good thing. She's still alive and hanging in with us. And that is a wonderful blessing. The flip side of the blessing is that she's 1,000,000 years old. And every day is a new adventure in what can I get her to eat and, what bodily fluids are coming out of her that I have to go clean up. But we love our Dixie, and what an incredible thing to have a dog for 21 years. And believe it or not, this is actually our second dog that we've had for 21 years. Or that we didn't, we had for 21 years. She's 21, we've had her, so it's about that. My son was 6, now he's 27. Our other dog came to us at 7, and we had for 14 years, so he was also 21. So I don't know, something good about being in my house, I guess. It's raining there too. It's a big storm. It's going across the country. I'm grateful it's not snow, but it is. It does make hello, darling, hello. It does make for a yawny, snuggly, want to be inside. So I got myself some tea. I got some water. And I'm very happy to be with you. So, okay. So, ask what it is for us to talk, what needs to be channeled today. And I actually have a couple other things I want to talk about. It's amazing. She's, that a dog is that old is amazing. So, we're just taking it one day at a time, and she'll stay as long as she stays. And my neighbor, who is my friend and a vet, she says she can pass whenever she chooses. She's ready. She just can't pass hungry. So we're just trying to keep food in her stomach. So yesterday I had hello from wet Clearwater and hello from wet Orlando and wet other parts of the country. So yesterday I had a marvelous experience. I had shared a few months ago I was invited by a group based in Colorado called Soul Journey Sundays to be part of their team of readers. And every other month they do a 2-hour event on Sunday evening with anywhere between 20 and 60 readers. And it's a Zoom event, and you buy a ticket, and each ticket guarantees you 2 readings from 2 different kinds of readers, and they have all kinds of readers. So there's me as a psychic, as a medium. There were Akashic Records readers. There were life regressionists. There were channelers and trance mediums and card readers, and just, amazing stable of people who all come together and give their time to participate in this event once every other month. And so last night was my first time to be able to participate in this event, and I am just so incredibly honored to be part of it. You can follow Soul Journey Sundays on the Facebook page. They have a Facebook page. I have put a link to the tickets up at the top of my Facebook page here. And so I will not be participating in the April one because it's right on the heels of Passover, and I'm concerned I might be too tired. But I will be participating in the one, I believe, in June. So I'm very excited for that. So also want to say that for the ladies, we do have our next Sister Circle is this Wednesday. And if you would like to participate in that, you can send a request to join the Facebook page Circle of Sisters. It's got a beautiful like moon spray sunrise, sort of, not sunrise, but with light coming behind it. Chris, maybe you can find the link for that page and put it in the comments if you have a second. And so we'll have our second of the 2025 Sister Circle events will be on this Wednesday evening. It's 6:30. It's usually like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And it's an amazing group of women who come together to lift and support and share. And we do a little meditation. We do some journaling prompts. We do lots of things to help us keep our sanity, keep grounded, and to help us move forward in challenging times. Now, having said that, Wednesday, thank you, darling. Wednesday is the new moon for this coming new moon, I believe is Wednesday, is for Pisces. Thank you. There it is. Yes, we are the light. So this is the new moon in Pisces. Now, in the new moon, we have this time where we want to go forward, right? We're looking at going forward. Pisces, obviously, water sign with the fish, but this is a time, and this is a time of rebirth, and this is a time of not just rebirth, but birth. This is a time of moving forward and being able to really ask ourselves, what is it that we want to bring out, to birth, to create, to cultivate, to birth into the world in 2025. So we know these signs, they come around, they're like the zodiac, they come around once in the cycle. And so here as we're coming to this moon in Pisces, it's what is it that you are wanting to create and birth and bring forward into the world. Now, this doesn't mean you have to put a bunch of pressure on yourself. It doesn't mean you have to write a book. It doesn't mean you have to make a commitment, obligation, spend money. It doesn't mean any of those things, but it does ask you on a higher spiritual level, what is it that you are wanting, hoping, wishing, secretly desiring, bucket listing to bring out into the world? And so the next question is, if you know what that is, then what is one little thing that you can do to help yourself move towards that in the interim? And that honestly could be something as small as subscribing to a podcast, or something as big as joining a advocacy group, or joining a readers group, or a writers group, or a cleaning group, or whatever it is. And there's no judgment about it, but it is about getting to know yourself. One of my mentors is very fond of saying, if you know who you are, then you know who you're not. And when we know who we're not, we're much more able to stand against those who would try to tell us who we are, or who they think we are, or worse, who they think we ought to be. And when we know who we are, then we know who we're not, and we know that what we are, what is important to us, and what we want, how we want to show up in the world. And if you've been following me for a while, I think it was for 2024, that was one of our mottos for the year, is who are we, how do we want to show up in the world, and what do we want to cultivate or create in that 24 year. And I haven't really pulled on to some sort of mantra for this 25 year, because it is a year about so much change. But it is, I feel, a very important time for us to make sure that we know who we are. And it's not just about what we stand for and what side of the aisle we're on, or who is our friends or not, and what's our flag and not. And it isn't about that. It's who we are inside. What kind of a human being do we want to be? What kind of a person? And then from there, when we know, do we want to be honest, compassionate, caring, loving, private, self-centered, focused? And I don't mean that as like, being snobby, but sometimes we need to like put our blinders on and be in our lane, and we need to have a period of time of retreat and a period of seclusion where we are healing, like the caterpillar in the cocoon with the butterfly. So where are you? And there's no judgment about it, because it's no one else's journey. This is your metamorphosis. This is your journey of the caterpillar into the butterfly. And so whatever that is that you are feeling like you want to show up in the world from this place, what is that place for you? Do you have had people say to me they wanted more knowledge, they wanted to feel more educated. So that became a priority or a focus for the year. People who want to be more fitness minded and to have mental health support, because that was what they needed. And I know for me personally, I'm not really running right now because I'm having some trouble with my knee, and also my running partner took a tumble, and so he's not running. So also it's raining. But I am doing other exercises, and I know that it's so important for me to exercise for me personally, because it really is so tied to my mental health. So if I can't run because my knee is bothering me, then what other options are available to me that could be in support of my mental health? So there's no one small, quick, easy, quick fix answer. But really what we're being asked, especially as we come into this Piscean moon, is really to take some time to look inside and say, am I showing up in the world the way I want to be? I know right now, and I have been talking with some of my mentors about this, if you look at, I have 3 Facebook pages on, if you look at them, one is one I completely ignore, but if you look at the difference between this page, and I'm not encouraging you to do it, but those of you who know me personally may follow me over there as well, and it's a very big difference between what's posted here and what's posted there, because this isn't an outlet for certain emotions that I feel I need to have a safe place to put them, that is not creating the place for me to spit them onto somebody else. But I'm not happy with that solution, so I'm really looking at what other options and how this can be, because this is me showing up in the world in a way that is not in alignment with how I'm showing up in the world in other areas of my life. And so this is the thing that I'm looking at, is what is it that I want to create and adjust and birth into this new space that this Piscean moon allows, that is going to allow me to show up in the world in a different way that is much more true to my authentic self. And so it's a conversation to have with self. It's a conversation to have with our higher, to say, are my actions really indicative across the board of who I want to be and how I want to show up in the world? And a lot of the times the answer is no, and that's okay. Okay, that's totally okay. We are very complex, multifaceted human beings, and it's okay. And very, very few people, aside from like the Dalai Lama and perhaps Jay Shetty, who show up in the world and that are completely uniform in the way that they show up, that is reflective. Their inside is fully reflective of the outside. It could be transparent. There is no wobble, okay? We are flawed humans. We wobble. Do the wobble, do the wobble. Oh, sorry. So we have flaws. And so this is a time for us to really stop, take a breath, take a look and say, okay, if this is the person I want to be, am I showing up as this person in all aspects of my life? And if I'm not, what are those aspects and how can I shift them to come more into alignment? And what things could I do, be, or have that could help me be more consistently authentic as who I want to show up as across the board? Is this making sense? I hope this is making sense, because this has really been kind of bubbling through me all weekend long. So hopefully this is making sense. There is no condemnation in this, but there is a strong encouragement for us to really know self. And again, if we know who we are and who we want to be, then we know who we're not. And then we have the ability to say, okay, what adjustments need to be made? What adjustments could be made? And then again, we take the small steps. We don't immediately just be like, well, screw it. I'm just going to do this and this and this. And now, if that's your personality style, okay, great. Because there are those people who are very like broad stroke people, and that's really great. But I tend personally not to be a broad stroke person. I tend to be a small moves, but I am a very big believer in slow and steady wins the race. So I may not be a sprinter, because oftentimes the sprinters, then they stop and then they got to rest. And then they're ready to sprint again. Whereas the slow and steady can keep going for a longer period of time, perhaps. Okay, whatever suits your style is totally fine. But it is about welcoming in authenticity and welcoming in the opportunity for change to allow us to shift more into alignment all the way across the board. You've heard me talk about these things that I can never remember what the heck they're called. With the ball, Chris says, this takes me back to my last trip to Dallas, figuring out how to dance along with physical challenges. Now I'm going to have to dance it out when we're done here. I have pictures of that. I have pictures with you with those I don't want to say the word crutches because it's not, but like those things that went on your wrists that were like canes and that you were dancing. I do have pictures of that, of us dancing. That is so exciting. What a beautiful memory that was. That is. Okay, so you've heard me talk about those ball things that are like, in the little frame and the balls go, Okay. When you take the balls, and there's videos you can find online of the bigger ones, and you take the ball and you drop one ball and it hits the other ball and it goes, right? And the last one bumps off and the next one bumps, right? And if you take two, same thing, right? Okay, we do this. The thing is that if you think, it was me, that might be, I remember you and Heather both had all decorated canes. If you take a bigger one of these, okay, and you're looking for videos of whatever this hanging marble clunkety clank thing is called, and I know it has a name, but I can never remember, and you take them, because there's ones with the 6 balls, but then there's ones with like 8 and 12, and you take them and you jumble them up, and you make all the balls are going in all different directions. What happens is if you wait, the balls will find themselves back in line. Newton Cradle, thank you very much. I don't know why that hid your, I'm always very grateful to Chris. She knows all the things I can never hold in my brain. Okay, so if you take a larger one, like the 8 or 10 balls, and you jumble them all up, and then you wait, they will find their way, thank you, back into a wave, and then they find their way back into equilibrium, okay? What's fascinating is that is the way of the universe. But we are the same way. So when we take our self-assessment and we look and we say, well, what is it that is out of alignment for me right now? And we jumble it all up. We say, well, I got to do this and I want to do that and I got to, whatever. We jumble it all up. Trust that even if you took a baby step and you only moved one marble, it's going to affect the others because that motion, that energy is connected. But if you messed up a bunch of them, and I don't want to say messed up, but if you shook up a bunch of them and you made them all get out of alignment, if you're somebody who is more of a broad strokes person and you shake them all up, you're going to come back into alignment. Okay, it may take a little bit longer if you wiggled up all the balls, but it is going to come back into a place of waves and then eventually it comes back into a place of alignment. Okay, because that's the energy. And so what I want you to understand is, well, it's important for us to take a look at this self-assessment and who we are and how we're showing up and are we being connected and true to the authentic version of ourselves. Is the inner vision, the inner desire matching the outward actions? And if it isn't, what do we need to change? And if we are changing, as we are changing, trust that even when we're making a small move, it's going to ripple to the other balls and the other aspects of us, and it is going to come into a new kind of alignment, okay? A new kind of alignment. And this is the place where I feel like people get a little bit scared. They're like, well, if I change this, then it's going to change this, it's going to change this. And I'm looking right now, so this is my office, and I have a work table on the other side of the room. And I'm looking right now at my work table, and I just put a file over there that I need to deal with. And I'm looking at my work table, and I'm like, there is piles for 7 different projects on that table right now. And I'm like, oh, right? Because we can feel like that. And so we don't do something because we feel like if I touch this, it's going to touch that, that's going to touch this, and then it's going to be, and we talk about that all the time, right? How the universe has to move the wheels and the cogs to get the gears lined up so that this can spin this and this can spin this, right? And you've seen me use my little magnetic gears, right? Where this can spin and makes that spin, and that's got to spin before that can spin, and that all these things are connected, and that's a positive. We look at this and we say, this is in alignment, this next gear is going to fit right in, and it's going to move along, we're going to make forward progress. But the flip side of that is when we look at this and we say, if I move this thing, now I'm going to have to deal with that thing, right? And then I got to deal with that thing. So we had recently had all these new windows installed in our home. So we have all new windows, boop, boop. But now I got to paint. because if I tipped my computer up, and you can kind of see it on Instagram over here, there's an arch window above this window. There's an arch window, and when the window was put in, it's centered, but originally when the house was built, that arch is not symmetrical. And so however the original window was put in, it was built around it, and it's when they put the new window in, even though the new window is centered in the space, the arch is now sort of not, and so they had the putty guy come in and reshape the arch. And so now this arch is covered in white, even though my walls are yellow, and needs to be repainted. So it's one of those things. It's like, well, we did the windows, now and then we have to paint, and then we're going to have to do the floors, and then we're going to have to right? And that can be very overwhelming. And so the flip side of when we move one of those balls is that we set off this chain reaction that says, well, if I do this, then I have to change this and change this and change this and change this. So we don't. And so what I'm saying to you right now is give yourself the opportunity, don't deny yourself the opportunity to move a ball and see what could change, what might change to get you more into alignment. And just know that there's nothing that obligates you to pick up the second piece if you're not ready to do it. So if you look at the first piece and you say, this is where I want to make a change, there's nothing that pressures you or obligates you except ourselves into the next space. Okay, so I'm constantly having to say to myself, okay, we are going to repaint, because at this point you look all around my house, I need to repaint like every room now because of all the windows, but I don't have to do it today. And so we look at those projects and we look at those adjustments and we say, okay, well, what is the next best thing that I can do? What is the next right move that's going to help me move towards this goal that I'm capable of tackling right now? Okay, what is the next thing that I'm capable? Because the next best thing might not be a thing you're capable of tackling right now. It might be the thing behind that that is the second best thing you could do, that's the thing you're capable of. And so there's no order. There's nothing that says it has to be ABC. That's us, okay? And so we give ourselves grace to be able to say, what is it that I can change right now that is not going to blow up my life? Okay? That's not going to cause me to have to go down the rabbit hole of 17 different projects and make me lose my mind. Because there's no rush, but there is a strong encouragement from the universe for us to really get to know ourselves. Who are we? Who do we want to be? How do we want to show up in the world? And if we're not living in that alignment with who we want to be and how we are actually being, what are some changes that we can shift to allow us to rebirth into our truest selves? Yes? Make sense? All right. Let's move it along. All right. Got my giant selenite ball that I love to play with, so I highly recommend. So fabulous. All right. So I've been enjoying. Could I repeat that, please? What can I change right now? Oh, gosh. I can't. You know I can't repeat it. But it's here. It's recorded. It's here for you. I swear it's here for you. And we're in the 23rd minute and about 20 seconds. So if you go back and watch the replay around the 23rd minute, you'll find what you're looking for. I can't repeat that. You're funny. Can't repeat it. All right. I don't remember what I say it because it's not coming from me. It's coming from them. All right. So I've been really enjoying checking in with the archangels. I've been reading a Edgar Cayce book about angels, which is really fascinating stuff. And so we know that also that Kyle Gray, the angelologist, has his new book is out. Angels Are With You. Looks fascinating. Got a copy. Haven't read it yet, but it will find its place. And so I have this deck of Kyle Gray's Archangel cards, and I have been enjoying seeing which Archangel wants to share guidance with us this week. And so this one is Sandalphon. And this is very interesting because it says, building the bridge. And it says, your role is to create a connection between heaven and earth and all hearts. And so I love this beautiful rainbow that he's got, and he's got these lots of different circles, that your role is to create the bridge. Now I love this because this is really a lot of what we're talking about is how we are bridging us to where we are to where we want to be, but also to make the bridge between heaven and earth. Now this is connecting us to our higher selves, yes, okay, and then also with all hearts. That means how are we showing up in the world? Okay, so we are bridging our hearts, our truest selves, to who we want to be, our higher selves, to connect back to that guidance, so that we are not being based in human earthbound guidance. We are being based in spiritual higher mind guidance. And then how are we sharing that in how we show up in the world with the rest of all the hearts on the earth. Okay, so really love that. Always love that the cards do tend to echo what we have been discussing. So now we also had these beautiful angel cards, the Malachim cards from my friends in Israel, and that is very exciting to me. So I was going to grab 2 of these because, as was discussed and instructed with me, is that you choose 2, and then these are guideposts for you for the week. So we have this one and this one. Okay, so these are, and maybe Sharon can help me with my Hebrew again this week. So this is motion. No, I don't even know. Motion. So this is motion, and it says in Hebrew on the top, and then English and Arabic. And then this is success. Hatzlacha. That one I know. Hatzlacha is success. So, okay, Hebrew and Arabic and English. And so here we have motion and success. So the thing is with this, that when we are in motion, we are more apt to create success. There's a saying, I have no idea who to credit it to or where to credit it to. It says, God feeds the birds, but God doesn't throw the food in the nest. When we are in motion, we have more opportunity to be successful because we're actually going somewhere and doing something. So motion is very directly connected to success. And so the more we are in motion, moving towards our goal, moving towards any goal, moving towards, just being in motion towards wherever we're aiming to go, we have much more likelihood of success or possibility of success than if we stayed home on the couch. Okay, if I would like to go bowling, then it's going to be a lot easier for me if I get in the car and go to a place where they have bowling, rather than sitting on my couch to say, gee, I'd really like to go bowling. So getting in motion is, yes, and I know there's Wii bowling and all of those things, but getting in motion is a really first big step about finding success. So I love that. And so we have been talking about, building that connection. Tenua. Sharon says tenua. Tenua, okay. Tenua is motion. Okay, tenua. Thank you, Sharon, our new resident Hebrew expert. And hatzlacha, I know because I recognize this from a Torah portion that I had studied. So, excellent. Thank you, Sharon. All right, we're going to make sure we keep a hold of you. All right. So I love when the cards, of course, line up. And isn't it fascinating that it doesn't matter which kind of cards that we use, that we can still have the continuity and the accuracy of information, that the cards, whatever are picked, are going to flow in alignment with what we have been discussing. It's really fascinating stuff. All right, so here we have this is Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle card. It's one of my favorite decks to work with. And so this is Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the Oracle. Now I love this because this is really confirmation for we are on the right track for really getting to know ourselves, getting to know who we are and how we want to show up into the world, and knowing that this is really about trusting that when we are staying connected to the light, to our higher selves, we will not ever go into the wrong direction because we are rising the vibration within us. When we are connecting more into our truest selves, our vibration is rising, which means that we will always be going in the right direction because we are more and more connected to higher guidance, and we can't possibly go in the wrong direction. So knowing that we are the Oracle, we are the ones who are bringing our own special messages, and that we are bringing messages to others, but when we're trusting that we are back in that alignment, connecting back to our higher selves, we are absolutely going in the right direction, and we are raising our vibration. And what happens when we raise our vibration is we bring others along with us. We start to attract people who are vibrating at that higher level or want to be vibrating at that higher level, and we bring those people we attract. Like attracts like, and this is really how we change the vibration of what's going on around us. When we lift our vibration, the others are attracted to that, and they come into the same play as well. So Tracy, not quite there yet. Hang in there. Hi. So our second card for general, for what do we need to know this week, is about boundaries. It says, where do you need to establish better boundaries? And this is really connected to what we were talking about before of how are we showing up, and what are those things, those external influences that may be causing us to show up in a way that we are not in that alignment of our most authentic self, right? So we're talking about getting more connected back to our most authentic self and how we want to, how we vision and how we choose and wish and would want to show up in the world. And then we are not showing up in the world in that way. Where is the boundary that's there that needs to, that we can set, that can help us shield from those things that would cause us to not show up in our most authentic self? This is a reminder that setting those boundaries is important. It's imperative that protects us from those things that would throw us off the course. Okay, we're working very hard over here to get back into alignment with our highest selves and be much more connected to our authentic selves. What are the external influences that need to have a boundary so that we are not showing that those things are not throwing us off course? Okay, because sometimes those external things, if we're going along, sometimes those things that come along, but boom, like a croquet ball, right? When you get the ball and the croquet ball comes along and bonks the next guy out. Sometimes it can really feel like that. So we want to make sure that we are setting those boundaries to help really put us in a place where we are vibrating in that highest level and we're not allowing external influences to come and knock us off the course. Okay? And Chris, thank you so much for talking with Altman. All right, so we also have now the last card, and this is really where we're going this week that we want to be aware of. This is the ever unfolding rose. And so this is cracked open. It's not happening for you, it's happening to you. So this I love because this is a total affirmation that we are going in the right direction, that everything that we're talking about is being fully supported by the spirit side. So you have this ever unfolding rose, and I love that you have she's laying here in, can you see her? She's laying here in the rose. And so this is, we are being supported, we're being lifted, we are being coddled by rose petals, the softest, most sweetest, velvety, beautiful smelling things in the world, right? And so here we are, and her head is tilted back. Here, take me, lead me, show me how to show up as my most authentic self, right? That we are allowing these things to happen for us. And so when we pick that one thing, we say, okay, here's this place where I'm going to start to make this change. Just allow that to unfold, because as we are being carried forward to say, okay, this is where you're starting in that next best step, and then know that the next steps are going to take you into the right direction as well, because we are being fully supported on this journey of evolution, this journey of change, to bring us back to our most authentic selves and protect us from the outward distractions that will throw us off course from being our most authentic self. So this is really this reminder to bring us back into home base, the place where we are the most connected with as above as below, so that we are back into that alignment and we are showing up as our most authentic selves. So, okay. All right. So let's see who we want to do cards for. So let me jump to Tracy, because she had jumped in a little early and asked for cards. We'll see who else wants to have cards as well. Cards? Did I say cars? Cards. Cards. Okay. All right. So what does Tracy need to know this week? Okay, interesting. So Tracy showed that I shuffled and boundaries came up. So Tracy, I'm going to pull another card, but boundaries comes up, and so this is maybe something that that you may want to look at for yourself as well, Tracy, to be able to say, where specifically do I need to put some boundaries for self? Okay, and so this is okay. So that came in the ever unfolding rose. So maybe those didn't get shuffled so well. So this is keepers of the earth. So it says, Tracy, you are not alone. The ancient ancestors are standing beside you. Okay, so Tracy, just as you're going forward, just this reminder that you have so much love and support from the other side that is working with you and helping you to go forward and helping you to extend, because it does have this feeling, Tracy, of opening wings, as if you are opening up yourself into a new opportunity and allowing yourself to be seen in a new way, Tracy, and allowing, this is an unfurling. This feeling I have for you is this unfurling of allowing your full power, your full potential to literally unfurl. I don't know if you ever saw John Travolta movie Michael, where he plays Archangel Michael. Fantastic movie. But there's a moment where he just brings his wings up and just poof, and puts them out. And this is really what I'm feeling for you, Tracy, is just allowing your true potential, your full potential to unfurl and allow yourself to be seen in all of your glory and all of your power and your greatness. Now, this doesn't mean you have to come in here and take, the world by storm and start, knocking heads together, but just allowing yourself to be seen for your whole self and not hiding and shrinking your wings back. Yes? Okay. All right, so we are Sharon. All right, so we have Sharon. This is get grounded, empaths, highly sensitive people, connecting with nature. So Sharon, this is about really just getting connected. Maybe take a walk, get out in the air. I know it's raining. But allowing yourself to maybe put on some nature sounds, maybe sit and look out the window. I know when the weather's bad, it's hard to go out and take a walk. But Sharon, this is talking about getting re-grounded, touching the trees, connecting with nature, and just trusting that you're connecting with the wisdom of something vastly older and vastly stronger to give you that sense of support and know that you are having this protection. One of my favorite grounding visualizations is in visualizing my feet on the ground, and that my energy is coming down through the balls of my feet, but also the heels of my feet are coming through to the earth, and really digging down into the earth and grabbing onto like a big tree root, so that big tree root, to help myself get grounded. And from that, the energy transfer comes that my energy is feeding Mother Earth, and that these beautiful, brilliant green vines and plants are coming up and winding themselves around my legs, not in a restraining way, but in a lifting and supporting way, to really have this brilliant green, remembering that we are connected to something infinitely older, infinitely wiser, and allowing us to enjoy. So I also have the dogs that need to get walked in between the rain showers, and I put on my raincoat and I put my hood up, and I allow, because there's something very cleansing and something very grounding about washing away and being out in the rain. Now, assuming it's not pouring, right? But so when we walk, I don't rush, even if it's got a little sprinkles going on, because there's something very refreshing and calming for me as well when I walk the dogs in the rain. So, the bigger dog has such a woolly coat, he doesn't care. He doesn't even notice it's raining. But allowing yourself to enjoy the journey of the dog walk, even if it's in the rain. So allowing yourself to reconnect to that earth wisdom. All right, so we've got Kimmy and Ellen, and Chris would love a car. All right, so we've got Kimmy. Kimmy, this is sharing your voice, coming out of the cave, and allowing self-expression. Okay, so this is knowing that you have something to say that is worth sharing. It's worth saying. So Kimmy, allow your voice to be heard. Allow your voice, whether that is writing, speaking, maybe, and it's not necessarily, I want to be clear, this is not necessarily about grabbing a podium or a soapbox, Kimmy, that this is also about really, because where this feels is one-to-one. This really feels like sharing our voice with somebody else, sharing a voice with a friend, reconnecting with a friendship, checking in on a friend, making sure that they're okay, and using your words to share guidance, wisdom, love, support with somebody who needs it, and letting people know that you care rather than assuming that they do. Okay, so this is not feeling like, jumping up on a stage, but it does feel like it's more intimate one-to-one communication that is being asked for you to remind folks around you who are important to you to let them know that they are. Okay, all right, so it does feel like there's a boomerang effect in that's going to come back to you in the blessings that really are going to make a difference for you. All right, Ellen, we have a card for Ellen. This is Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. So Ellen, this is for you, and this is really about you also letting your voice be heard. But more than that, it feels like there's a place where you have been seeking knowledge that you have been denying yourself. And so I really would love to encourage you to allow yourself to connect with others who are in a similar mindset. This does feel like there's an online class or something. I know I love walking in the rain. It really is marvelous. And I love that we're coming back into the rainy season here in Florida. So this is, Ellen, there's a community is seeking you, and it feels like, and we love having you in our community. We're not kicking you out, anything like that. But it does feel like there's a community that's seeking you, as if you have been wanting to take. I've been wanting to take that class, and I have never done it. And they're saying that this is now the time for you to take that class. Now, whatever that is, it is a community that is a place of home and a place of support and grounding there, and it's not feeling it's not feeling like, I'm not feeling it like it's a gym, but there is a community, and so there is something that is knowledge that's been seeking, that you have been seeking, that is seeking you as well. And so I'm going to leave that with you, because it does feel like there's a community of other seekers that are part of that as well, that is going to help to support you and lift you. And it just fills in a piece, like there's like a piece missing. Like you've ever watched on the Great British Baking Show, they've got that gorgeous chocolate cake and the raspberries on top, and there's one raspberry missing. So this is what they're showing me on this. There's just this one raspberry, and it just feels like this community has that missing piece that's there for you. So, okay. Belinda. All right, a card. Hi, Priscilla. It's wonderful to see you. Welcome, welcome. Welcome back. It's been a while. So, all right. Where were we? Where are we? Chris. All right, Krista. This is Trusting the Niggles. What is that niggle, that nagging, niggling feeling trying to tell you? What is that? And I love this, because I actually feel like this might be retroactive for some of the things that we were talking about, because I know that recently you had acted on a niggle. And so there just is this support. Let's take that as confirmation for you that you did the right thing, and that this is going to benefit for you. Now, if there's other niggles, if there's other things that are coming to you that are feeling like, I want to, there's other things that you're feeling a push about, definitely to trust that. But I do feel like this card is a confirmation card. So let me say that. Okay, Belinda. Did we do Belinda already? No? Yes, no, no. Okay, Belinda. Okay. And then Tracy, other Tracy, Tracy S. Okay. Hi, Shannon. Welcome, welcome. All right, Belinda. I gotta go back where I can see your name to tap in your energy. So, all right, Belinda. All right, so this is, so this is no. The answer is no. So this is wait, postpone, pause, say no. So Belinda, this is really telling you to just pump the brakes for a minute, okay? So there's changes that are around, there's decisions for you to be making, and so this is really just telling you pump the brakes, okay? And there's not, and it's not a total, like, you know, piss off. This is just a pump the brakes, okay? So when we have this card that's no, people are like, oh my God, that means a total brick wall. No, 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 no. It's just a pump the brakes, okay? And so it just really is just what I'm feeling about it is that there's some decisions that you're being asked to make quicker than I feel are comfortable for you, and that it is permissible for you to say, you know what, I'm going to sleep on this. You know what? Thank you for all this information. I really appreciate it. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to get back to you, okay? It is totally permissible to say that. And so that's just talking to you about just pumping the brakes, okay? You don't have to go rushing forward. Just take the space that you need to take, and know that trusting your instincts and all will be well. Yes? Okay. All righty. Tracy, Sam. Tracy. All right. My friend. Tracy, this is deep replenishment. Oh, retreat and rest. Be held in the arms of spirit. Okay, so I know you have been retreating and resting for a very long time, so just as a reminder, just to take it slow, not rushing yourself back into action, just allowing yourself to continue to emerge from your chrysalis in a way that is supportive and feels safe to you, and know that there's no big rush for you to, you know, get back to anything. Just allow yourself the opportunity to continue healing, and to, as you are going forward and coming out of cocoon, to be able to continue to do the things that have brought you peace and comfort and self-care while you were healing. Or those things should not be forgotten and left behind now that you've got 2 feet, to be able to continue to hold on to those things that were so supportive and important to you while you were healing, that these things should not be abandoned, okay, as you're going forward. So I hope that that is helpful for you. All right. And we have, so I did Belinda. Yes, we just did Belinda. And y'all put in comments more than once, you get me confused. All right, Shannon Grant, welcome, welcome. Here is a card for you. This is Pleiades. So this is channeling your higher selves and allowing yourself to connect back to your truest self of where your soul may be from. I'm not sure if your soul is pleading it or not, but allowing yourself to reconnect back to the higher self, allowing yourself to be part of the light, to be part of lifting your soul back up and not getting so caught up in the minutia of being so connected here on earth that we forget who we really are and where we come from, and that there is a higher line for us to be connected to and to get our power from there and not to getting our power from what's out and around us, right? That we're getting our power from that higher guidance. And so this is reminding you that we do have this double mission, Shannon, that we are here as humans having a soulful experience. We're not just humans having a human experience, we're souls having this human experience. And so it's really important that we remember who we truly are, that we're the souls having this human experience, and that when we get distracted by the noise of the outside, we can get, like we talked about, kind of knocked off course. And so it's really important that we take some time to get ourselves reconnected to our higher self so that we know who we really are and who we're here to be, right? So Shannon, this is just this reminder for you to take a little bit of quiet time and just get reconnected with who you really are so that you can be more able to hear when that higher guidance is coming in for you. Okay, that makes sense. All right, and Suzanne sneaking in at the end. Absolutely, absolutely. So glad, Belinda. Very happy to help. Very happy to help. Suzanne. All right, so we've got Suzanne. We've got Starseed. Oh, this card is so beautiful, isn't it? This card is so beautiful. Look at that. Wouldn't that be incredible to look out over that? Starseed. So this is what lights you up. So Suzanne, I want to say to you, allow yourself the joy, okay? So there's places where we get into life where we just get so bombarded by the outside obligations and noise and responsibilities and blah, 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 that we forget to feed our own meter. We forget to feed ourselves. And so this is really about saying to yourself, like, what is it that I want, right? When we say, you know, I have this with my husband all the time. It's like, you know, oh, what should we get for dinner? And I say, oh, I don't care. And he's like, oh, well, how about if we get this? And it's not really what I want. And then to be able to say, he's like, oh, well, how about if we get this? I'm like, you know what? That's not actually what I want. Here's what I want. And so we give ourselves this permission to say what we really want. And so to give yourself this permission to say, what is it that I need to fill me up? What is the meal? What is the task? What is the experience? What is the field trip? What is the movie? What is the ice cream? Whatever it is that is going to fill me up. What's the thing I really want that I'm going to allow myself to say when others, instead of trying to appease others, and to be able to say, nope, this is what I really want. I'm going to let my voice be heard. So honoring what it is that we truly want, that we usually know is in there, but we don't want to say because we don't want to be the squeaky wheel, and we don't want to, you know, oh, it's fine if others want something, something. Okay. And so Suzanne, this is really this reminder that says, hey, honor what lights you up. Honor what lights you up. Okay. So take this as confirmation. I see that you're working on that, so bravo. But take this as confirmation, A, that you're on the right track, and B, that you still got some work to do to keep going. So, but honestly, that's a never-ending thing. We all got work to do on that one, right? We're all talking about using our voices in our most authentic selves, and using our voices to allow ourselves to be more fully seen. Okay, so you are not alone, my friend. So I'm so glad, Shannon. I'm so glad that makes help. That makes sense. I'm so glad for you to be able to help. All right, we're going to pull one more card to just wrap it all up together. And so this is the Soul Family. Of course it is. It's the Soul Family card. It says, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Did I literally not just say that? We're all working on these things. We are all together in this. We are all together on this planet. We are all together on the journey, right? We're all on our own path, but we're all on this journey together. We are definitely part of the community. We are definitely part of lifting the light, the vibration. We're all in it together. So anytime that you feel like you might be alone, just know that you're not. And we will continue to post those posts on the page that says, how can we support you this week? So we will continue to do that so that we remember that we're all in it together, and that we're going to get through it by, every single day by supporting each other and staying connected. So always, always remember how very much you are loved. Thank you for being part of our community of light. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Mwah.